Hi, this is Rachel with Rachel's Truth, where I review different shows, and this video is going to be just a review of Married at First Sight, season 13, episode 14, and it will be a follow-up in regards to Michaela and Zach. So my last video, I spoke about them for the earlier parts of the episode, and I hadn't finished yet, and I just finished their part. I still haven't finished the episode. I'm like breaking it up into pieces, but I finished where Michaela and Zach have their blow up, where Zach wanted to leave. So I noticed that Zach shifted during the day, especially when they had their conversation about marriage, but then also when they did the game where it was most likely to marry at first sight, most likely to, and when everyone said most likely to be petty, and they picked, well, most of them, Michaela, even she chose herself. She made it into like a laughing matter and joked about it. In his mind, I don't think he wants to be with someone who wants to be petty and thinks that it's funny to be petty. So it was like a red flag for him and a turn off. And he just came to the realization that, yeah, she is petty. The incident with the seasoning, petty. She did that maliciously. It wasn't that she just bought it. She did it on purpose. And she even confirmed that later on in that episode. So to him, it was a red flag. And it was just like, okay, I can't do this anymore, right? And then they show the clip with him at the dinner table. And you see him, he's like cutting his eyes at her. And he's just like looking at her like, he was quiet. And even, the other couples mentioned it during dinner. And he was just like staring at her. He wasn't saying much. And it was just like, he probably was just like assessing her like, man, I can't believe I was paired with this psychopath. So, because when they were doing the game, she was like, laughing. And she was just like, and Gil was like, type of petty to remove the batteries out of the smoke detector. And she just like agreed with him, co-signed, and was like happy about it. And it's so funny because Zach explained this before. Like, she jokes about being a hurricane. She accepts it. She says that's who she is. And what we as people have to realize is that when we speak something, it's going to come to pass, right? So the more that she continues to say, this is who I am, this is who I am, that's who she's going to be. And that's what she's not realizing what she's doing. And he's seeing it, and he's not comfortable with it, right? Not saying Zach is perfect and he has it all figured out, but at the beginning of him seeing who she is and what she does, her actions, he already had decided that was a deal breaker for him, because he already knew he did not want that type of partner, right? And he should have trusted his gut and walked away. But instead, you have this show when you have other people involved who are persuading him to stay and work it out. And so that's what he has been doing. So that's why he's so confused, because he has outside influences. You have other couples, you have the experts, you have production, people telling you to work it out, when all actuality they should have been telling him to run. Of course, no one is perfect, but that is a toxic behavior, and a behavior that she's saying that she wants to change now, but her actions aren't showing it. Not to say Zach is perfect, but we can only be accountable for ourselves. And he is focusing on what is a deal breaker for him. So how he's acting and responding to her, and how he wants to separate from her, is his defense mechanism to not deal with something that triggers him. So he has to do what he has to do, right? So that he can cope with the situation. And if it's removing himself, then that's what he just has to do. So at the end of the day, every decision that Zach is making is based off the fact that this has always been a deal breaker for him. And then you have a lot of people on social media saying that, Zach caused that behavior for her to happen. No one causes anything. You are responsible for yourself. She is an adult. She is responsible for herself, and she should be acting with more self-control. She's out of control. Now, going around laughing about you being a hurricane, everybody knows you're a hurricane. You have so many enablers in your life, your sisters. And no one is really holding you accountable. Like, it's just too much. Like, when you're married, like, you shouldn't be calling all of these people. Even with having all of these other couples involved in their marriages, it's not like, it's supposed to be between you and your partner and God. And if you find a therapist or you find a close couple that is seasoned in a marriage, then okay, someone you can trust. But all these outside influences, her constantly calling her sisters, brothers, all, like, it's too much. It's too much. It's like they're in high school, like they're little kids, and it shouldn't be that way. So she's laughing about being this tornado, and like, that's really what she actually did. Like, when she went to the house when Zach left, and she's like messing everything up and throwing things and pulling things, and that they said that she threw the wine glass. A tornado comes, messes everything up, and leaves. And that's exactly what she did. She messed everything up, went into the room, and left that morning. Tornado. And it's like, you're living up to what you already spoke over your life. That's what she's doing. So I hope she's at a point in her life where she's not speaking these things on herself, because that's what happens. And she's a prime example of it. So, and for anyone, that would be a huge turnoff, to be joking about it like that. And you just definitely seen it in his face. He was just like, yeah, I gotta get out of here. This chick is crazy. Because it's not cool. It's a turn off. It's an issue that they have within their relationship, and she continues to joke about it. So it's a turn off for him. And it's okay, because that's not something that he wanted, right? So I don't think that's something that any man would be attracted to. And if a man is attracted to that, he's probably not even mature enough in his life. You know what I mean? Because, like, that's not attractive. Acting like that? No, it's not. You know, she needs to be whole. She needs to be healed. I hope she's getting the help that she needs. That would be great. Once again, not saying that Zach is perfect, but in this scenario, she needs to get help, and she should not be acting like that no matter what is happening. No one is putting their hands on you. These are just words. You knew from the beginning that this man did not want to be with you based off who you were and how you were responding in situations. You knew that from the beginning. Nothing has changed. Nothing at all. And it's just so funny. Like, you guys go from like having these episodes, and then the next day or 2 days, you guys are good. Everything's perfect. We're in a good place. No, ma'am. You're not in a good place. You guys are just sweeping it under the rug and trying to move forward, and nothing is ever resolved. And that's not good. That is not good. And that's one thing I hate in relationships, is people who just want to sweep it under the rug and act like nothing happened. They don't address it. They don't apologize, you know, and actually mean it, and then show with action that they won't do it again. But instead, people in this relationship apologize, and then they do it again. And that's what keeps happening over and over and over and over. And I'm glad that Zach decided to leave. I know what everyone looks at as, oh, he's running away, whatever. That's what he needs to do for himself, right? How she's acting is erratic. No one wants to be around that. And I'm glad she left as well. But it just seems like her sisters are definitely enabling her. I hope that they're not, but it appears that way. You know, every time I call you, you come. Every time I have an issue, you're helping me. You're not really holding me accountable. You're not telling me you're wrong. You need to stop. You can't treat that man like that. You have to respect him. Like, I don't hear that. I don't hear that at all. And then him jumping on the phone and trying to explain, like, it seems really kiddie to me. It doesn't seem like they're adults or mature enough to even be in a marriage, right? So I think that's all I wanted to say, besides, you know, her just like even making the situation worse, going outside and then telling everyone to stop. Like, it's too much of putting people into the marriage. And that's one thing that you do not want to do. You do not want to have a bunch of people in your marriage. Like I said before, close couple, seasoned, married a long time, cool, you can trust them. A therapist, cool. Talking to one another, having God in the center, cool. But all that other stuff, no. As you can see, she confided in Bow, and look where that got her. And I'll come back and talk about that. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Leave a comment Let me know what you think about Michaela. Do you think she was right, wrong? Do you think Zach was wrong for leaving? What do you think? Leave a comment below. Like this video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.